The moon hung high above the Silver Fang pack, glowing like a silent witness to betrayal. Lanterns flickered across the pack square. Music floated through the crisp night air. Wolves from neighboring territories had gathered for the most anticipated ceremony of the year, the Alpha's mate announcement. Inside the grand stone hall, Area Vale stood near the back wall, fingers trembling around the silver goblet in her hand. Her heart beat too fast. Tonight was supposed to be the night her mate finally claimed her. For 3 years she had waited for Alpha Adrian Blackthorn to acknowledge the bond between them. Ever since the day their wolves had recognized each other during the Blood Moon ceremony. But Adrian had always kept his distance, cold, distant, unreachable. Still, the bond was real. She felt it in every breath, every heartbeat, and tonight he had called the entire pack together. Her wolf stirred anxiously. "Something is wrong," her wolf whispered. Across the hall, the great doors opened. The music stopped instantly. Adrian entered, tall, powerful, dressed in black ceremonial armor that gleamed under the lantern light. His dark hair was pushed back, his sharp jaw tight with authority. Behind him walked a woman dressed in crimson silk, rich, beautiful, confident, Selena Whitmore, daughter of the wealthiest pack in the Northern Territories. Aria's stomach dropped. No. Adrian stepped onto the raised platform. His presence alone commanded silence. Tonight, his deep voice echoed across the hall. "I announce the future Luna of the Silver Fang pack." Aria's fingers tightened around the goblet. Her wolf whined softly. Adrian extended his hand. Selena placed hers in his. The world seemed to freeze. "I, Alpha Adrian Blackthorn, choose Selena Whitmore as my mate and future Luna." The words sliced through Aria's chest like claws. The goblet slipped from her hand. It shattered on the stone floor. Several wolves turned to look at her. Adrian's eyes flickered toward the sound. For a moment, just a moment, their gazes met. The mate bond roared painfully between them. Aria felt it, the pull, the connection, the truth he was pretending didn't exist. Her voice came out barely above a whisper. "Adrian," his jaw tightened. Then something cruel flashed across his face. "The bond between us," he said coldly so the entire hall could hear, "was a mistake." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Aria's heart stopped. "You're weak," Adrian continued, "an omega with no family, no influence, no wealth." Each word struck like a whip. "My Luna must strengthen this pack, not drag it down." Selena smirked beside him. Aria's wolf howled in agony. "You're rejecting me," Aria whispered. Adrian's eyes hardened. "Yes." The bond snapped. Pain exploded through her chest. Her knees buckled as the rejection tore through her wolf like fire. Some wolves looked away in pity. Others watched like it was entertainment. Selena leaned closer to Adrian and whispered something that made him smile. That smile shattered the last piece of Aria's heart. Slowly, she forced herself to stand. Tears blurred her vision, but she refused to cry in front of them. "Understood," she said quietly. The hall fell silent. Aria bowed her head once. "Congratulations, Alpha." Then she turned and walked toward the exit. No one stopped her, no one spoke. Only the distant sound of laughter followed her as the celebration resumed behind her. Outside, the cold night air hit her like ice. Aria walked blindly into the forest surrounding the pack territory. The moonlight painted the snow silver beneath her feet. Her wolf whimpered in pain. "Mate rejected us, I know," Aria whispered brokenly. She walked for hours, through trees, across frozen streams, away from everything she had ever known. By dawn, she reached the border marker of the pack. The stone pillar marked the end of Silver Fang territory. Beyond it lay the rogue lands, unknown, dangerous, free. Aria stared at the symbol carved into the stone. 3 claw marks, her home or what used to be. Behind her lay humiliation, rejection, a life where she would always be the Omega the Alpha discarded. Ahead, she had nothing. No pack, no protection, no future. But at least she would have her dignity. Aria stepped past the border. The moment her foot crossed the line, a strange calm settled inside her. For the first time in years, the mate bond no longer controlled her. The pain remained, but the chains were gone. She whispered softly to the wind, "Goodbye, Adrian." Then she disappeared into the forest. Far away, deep in the northern mountains, a massive castle stood hidden among black cliffs and ancient forests. Inside a dimly lit throne room, a tall man sat lazily on a dark iron throne. His silver eyes suddenly snapped open. The powerful creature beside him lifted its head, a Lycan, ancient, terrifying. The man frowned slightly. Interesting, his wolf stirred. Somewhere in the world, a broken mate bond had just awakened something far more powerful. Something ancient, something dangerous. The man stood slowly. His deep voice echoed in the empty throne hall. "Find her." His guards froze. "My king." One asked carefully. The man smiled faintly, a dangerous smile. The woman whose heartbreak just shook the bond of fate. His silver eyes glowed, because for the first time in centuries the Lycan king's mate bond had stirred. And somewhere in the wilderness, an abandoned Omega had no idea she had just caught the attention of the most powerful Lycan alive. Aria wandered through the rogue lands for weeks, surviving on instinct and the sparse wildlife she could hunt. Her wolf, though scarred and wounded from rejection, remained vigilant, alert to every rustle in the trees, every whisper of the wind. She had no pack, no name, no claim, just freedom, and a heart heavy with betrayal. Yet in that freedom, a small part of her dared to hope. Hope that maybe, just maybe, she could rebuild a life away from Silver Fang Pack and the memory of Adrian's cruel rejection. It was on a cold, moonlit evening that her life took a turn she could never have predicted. The forest opened into a wide clearing, bathed in silver light. Snow crunched under her boots, echoing too loudly in the stillness. Aria paused, sensing movement before she saw it. From the shadows, a horse emerged, tall, black, with muscles rippling under the moonlight. And atop it sat a man whose presence made the air itself tense. He dismounted silently, snow crunching softly beneath his boots. His dark coat clung to his broad shoulders and a hood partially obscured his face. Aria's wolf growled low, warning her of danger. "Stay calm," he said, his voice smooth, deep, and commanding. "I mean no harm." Aria's eyes narrowed. "Who are you?" "I am a traveler," he replied, though his tone suggested far more than a simple wanderer. "And I have a proposition for you." Aria's brow furrowed. "I'm not interested." The stranger smiled faintly, as if he had anticipated her answer. "Not interested? That's a shame, because the opportunity I offer is one that very few, perhaps only you, could accept." Aria studied him carefully. She felt an inexplicable pull toward him, though she didn't understand why. His presence was magnetic, almost primal, like the kind of power that could command not just a wolf, but the wild itself. "Speak," she said cautiously. "I am seeking a wife," he said simply. "A mate to stand by my side in life and in power. I will offer you a title, a home, protection, and wealth beyond your imagining. All I ask is your trust." Aria laughed bitterly. "You don't even know me." "On the contrary," he said, stepping closer. "I know you. I know your pain, your heartbreak. I know the wound your former mate inflicted, and I can heal it in ways no one else can." The words made her heart skip, but she shook her head. "I don't need anyone to heal me. Perhaps not," he said softly, "but I can offer you something better, a new beginning, one where your past no longer dictates your life." The stranger extended his hand. "Will you marry me?" Aria stared, the wind stilled, her wolf stiffened, sensing the weight behind the words. She wanted to say no, to walk away, to refuse. Yet something deep inside whispered that this was a chance she could not ignore. A life not dictated by betrayal, but by choice. "Why me?" she asked finally, voice trembling. "Because you are stronger than you realize," he said, eyes locking onto hers. "And I see in you the mate I've been waiting for, whether you know it yet or not." Aria's mind raced. She didn't know him. She didn't even know his name, but the offer shimmered before her like a beacon. A chance to escape the shadow of her past, a chance to be seen, valued, and safe. After a long pause, she took a deep breath and whispered, "I accept." The stranger's lips curved into a small, approving smile. "Good, then we leave at once. The ceremony awaits, and your new life begins tonight." Aria felt a flutter of fear, and excitement rise in her chest. She was about to marry a man she didn't know, yet in a strange way, She trusted him more than anyone she had ever known. She mounted his horse without another word, and together they rode into the night, the silver moon illuminating their path. Somewhere far to the north, in a hidden throne room of dark stone, silver eyes glimmered in the shadows. The Lycan king had finally found what he had been searching for, and Arya, unaware of the power she had just pledged herself to, was about to become the most important woman in the Lycan world. The castle loomed before Arya like a shadowy fortress, black stone walls rising from jagged cliffs, shrouded in mist and mystery. Its towering gates opened as if expecting her, revealing a courtyard glimmering under torchlight. Snow crunched under her boots as she followed the stranger through arched hallways, their shadows stretching long and eerie across the walls. Arya's heart pounded. Every instinct in her wolf urged caution, but there was something undeniably commanding about the man she had married just hours ago. Something that made her pulse quicken, even as fear whispered warnings she couldn't name. Finally, they arrived at a grand chamber. The room was decorated in rich velvet and gold accents, candles flickering in ornate holders, throwing dancing light across the dark stone walls. A fire roared in the hearth, warming the vast space. The stranger turned to her, his eyes catching the candlelight, revealing a flash of silver. Arya froze, her wolf growling low in her chest. "Sit," he commanded softly, yet with authority that brooked no argument. She obeyed, perched at the edge of a gilded chair. "I owe you the truth," he began, voice low and steady. "You married a stranger, yes, but I am no ordinary man. I am the Lycan king." The words hit her like a thunderclap. Her wolf growled and bristled, sensing the surge of raw power emanating from him. You're the Lycan king," she whispered, fear and awe blending in her chest. He nodded slowly. "I rule over all Lycan clans across the northern territories. My word commands armies. My bite holds authority. And now, by our bond, you are my mate." Arya's mind reeled. She had married a stranger out of desperation, to escape heartbreak, and unknowingly bound herself to the most powerful Lycan alive. "But why me?" she asked, voice trembling. "Because," he said, stepping closer, the heat from his presence filling the room, "your wolf called to me before we even met. The bond between us is ancient, stronger than any pack's politics, stronger than wealth or titles, and I have been waiting for the right moment to claim it." Her wolf whimpered softly, both terrified and exhilarated. Arya felt a pull in her chest, a sudden fire coursing through her veins. Her body reacted before her mind could catch up. He knelt before her, taking her hands in his touch sent sparks through her like electricity. "You were betrayed once," he murmured. "Rejected, cast aside, but no one will ever hurt you again. Not while I breathe." Tears pricked her eyes. The anger, the pain, and the heartbreak of Adrian's rejection surged up, mingling with an overwhelming desire to trust this stranger, this Lycan king who seemed to understand her in ways no one ever had. "Do you feel it?" he asked softly, leaning closer. "The bond, our wolves are speaking even now. They are connected, meant for each other." Arya nodded, shivering, the truth undeniable. She could feel it, the pull between them, strong and feral, uniting them in ways words could not describe. I don't know how to do this," she whispered. He smiled, lifting her chin gently. "You don't have to. Let your wolf guide you. Let me guide you. Together we are stronger than anything this world can throw at us." The firelight reflected in his eyes, a promise and a warning. Power and desire intertwined in his gaze. And in that moment, Arya knew her life had changed forever. She was no longer the broken Omega, discarded by a selfish Alpha. She was the mate of the Lycan king. Her wolf trembled in anticipation. A bond once torn apart was now reforged in fire and moonlight. And outside, the winter wind howled through the mountains, echoing the call of a new Alpha and his mate. A bond that would shake the foundations of every pack across the territories.